to teach you how to make baby food today if that is something that you need to learn. But the reason I'm talking about this is when I teach families how to save money on groceries by eating more whole foods like produce. But I also have an early childhood development degree and I'm a foster mom, and I've helped raise 6 sets of infant twins over the years. So I have a lot of experience besides just raising my own on feeding littles. All right, we're going to talk about some of the things that I like to make for baby food, starting with the different squashes, which are normally one of the first things that I cook. Avocados are the first thing that I give, but you don't need to prep those ahead of time. But for any of these squashes, I just cut them in half and scoop out the seeds. And then I put them upside down on a tray, and they can just go into the oven at 375 degrees until they're fork tender. So you don't have to put any oils or any seasoning on them. And they're so easy to then scoop out and either blend, or if you have a baby that's a little bit older that's not doing the purees anymore, I like to freeze these in just little chunks on a tray. And then after they're frozen, you can put them in a bag, and that way it is so easy to repurpose them if you're past the puree stage. So my kids didn't know until they were in college that I actually put pumpkin in our mac and cheese every single time that they ate it, and they just thought that bright orange color was from the cheese. I love that most of these items are things that I can just cook while I'm cooking dinner. So if I already have the oven on, it's really easy to throw in some extra sweet potatoes to make for the baby, or squashes. These are things that if the oven is on and you're already baking something, just go ahead and make a little bit extra that you can put away. I also, when I'm doing this, I will do either chicken breasts or chicken thighs with no seasoning on it also. And that way it can be cooked in the oven with no seasoning, and then you can blend that up and add it to these baby foods. For the carrots, I normally will slice them. These are large carrots that I peeled, but I make them into little chunks, and then I put those in boiling water for the baby carrots until they're fork tender. So about 10 minutes normally for the carrots. And then those can be pureed in a magic bullet also. And then green beans, these are from my garden. For the green beans, I will normally put a little bit of water in a pan, and then I have a steamer basket that I use the green beans for. So those, again, when they are tender, then I just put them in a food processor or a magic bullet, and you can just blend those up really quickly. Frozen peas, I just mash with a fork. So I just use regular organic frozen peas and then mash them with the fork. But what I mostly wanted to talk about today are these super cubes. They're silicone dishes that you can freeze in. So I love being able to put the individual portions in these little cubes. You can just pop them back out, and I'll teach you how to warm them up in a second. But you can just pop them out after they're frozen. You can keep them in the tray just like this if you don't need to reuse it right away, or you can take them out and put them in a bag. This is the best new way to be able to freeze the baby food. So if you put them in the super cubes, these are 2-inch sizes, which is just perfect. I like to keep single ingredient produce items in these. So I have like this, I don't even know what this is. I have the sweet potatoes here, and then this one has a little bit of pumpkin and sweet potatoes, and this one here. But if you find that your baby does not like one of these produce items, if they are all blended together, you've just wasted a whole bunch of time. When you can keep them separated like this, it saves so much. So you never know if you're going to have somebody that develops an allergy or a sensitivity or just a dislike for one of the items. So I always keep them separate. So I will do little tablespoon portions of the meat separate, and then the different vegetables, and you can make your own little mixes. So when you go to reheat them, you can just pop these out and put them in a small little jelly jar or the 1/2 pint jelly jar, and they will fit down in there. And then you can put these in your bottle warmer. So you don't have to microwave them. You can just put them in your bottle warmer, and make sure that the lid is a little bit loose when you do that. And then that way you will have safe baby food to feed your baby. And then if you want to make things like applesauce or pears, we have videos for that on the blog and on YouTube, so you can make shelf-stable applesauce and pears that will last a really long time. And one other thing I do to keep this versatile is I don't add any breast milk when I'm making it. So if you need to add a little bit of breast milk or formula when you're trying to thin it out, add it when you are preparing it for the baby and not sooner. That way you can take these, if you have leftover ones as the baby grows, and add them to casseroles or soups or other items and be able to repurpose them. So nobody wants your breast milk but your baby. I love these. These are from Super Cubes too, that you can put breast milk in, and then it fits in the bottle really easily. So they have a special one that's just for breast milk that would work really great for that if you're using breast milk. And then the other thing is, if you make your own stocks, don't add salt to it when you're making them, but you can make them in baby-sized portions. So you can make your own little soups and stuff for the baby in these little Super Cubes. So if you make your own stocks, when you go to put it away, put some in the Super Cubes, and then they're in the correct portion to make your own little soups or thinning out your vegetables. Something else that I do every single year is make canned pears and canned applesauce. So I haven't made applesauce yet for this year, so I don't have an example to show you. But the applesauce and the pears are both water bath canned recipes, so you can do it in any kind of stock pot. You don't have to have special canning equipment. We have videos and blog posts for this both on the 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐶, so make sure that you check out the description.